Welcome back to our final week of learning.
Yes!
At home. We've made it. This nightmare's almost over for the school year. We're still going to have to stay at home for the most part.
Yeah.
But this week we are tackling Australia, and we figured since it was our last week, maybe let's spice things up a little bit and go on a safari and just kind of discover some Australian wildlife. How's that sound to you, Mr. McKinney?
You had me at hello.
I don't think I ever said hello, but let's go ahead and get ready for this safari. I got a boomerang here. That was pretty quick. Let's get this thing started. Can you play some didgeridoo, my didgeridoo?
Yes, I can.
Pump up music. Oi, we've made it out here to Australia. It's time for us to begin our safari. The first animal we're going to be looking for is the koala bear. It's attracted to eucalyptus trees, so that's where we start.
Crikey, mate.
There's one there. Wait, look at all this footage we're getting of these koala bears. I know bears in the name, but they're not really bears. That's so cute. That's a cute one right there. Look at it. Look at its little hands.
Look
gripping.
at the weird little hands they have.
It looks like it had two thumbs there.
Two thumbs. You know who else has two thumbs?
This guy!
Koalas are actually marsupials, which means they carry their young in a pouch. Think about like a mother. A mother having one of those baby carrier things that she carries in front of her and she puts the little baby in it and its little legs and its little arms are just flailing out.
Oi, I just think of a kangaroo and her joey.
That's an easier way of thinking of...
That's another marsupial. These koalas, they feast on these eucalyptus leaves, as you can see here. They flippin' love those.
Big fans of the eucalyptus trees. Now you'll notice a koala bear. Look at the little thing. Oh, you need to wake up there, little Joey, huh? They're gonna grow to be about 2 feet tall, and they're gonna weigh roughly 30 pounds.
Just an absolutely magnificent creature.
Beautiful.
Let's give these some space, and let's go find something else. Welcome, come here. We're hot on the track of a dingo.
It's a dingo!
Oh, no! Come on here, let's go take it out. Oi, there it is. You see it among the trees? Look at that dingo. Look, it's just a happy pup right now.
I do see that dingo. Dingo, did you know, is the biggest carnivore in Australia. A carnivore, for those of you mates and Sheilas that don't know, is a meat-eating animal. Now, unlike me, a dingo prefers their meat to be cooked rare.
Now, this is some rare footage, because the dingo is actually in quite a bit of vegetation. Now, the dingo does typically prefer the outback. He prefers the desert. He blends in a little bit better there, but this one, he's enjoying himself a nice little dip in the water. So, I can't blame him there. I could use a little dip in the water.
Just a wee little dip in the water would be perfect. The dingo lives in the outback, as Mr. Grossman pointed out. And did you know the outback is very similar to our desert that you can find here in the U.S.?
These dingoes, wow, they look cute and cuddly. You need to remember, they're wild animals. They'll tear your face off quicker than you can say skippity-dood all day.
Speaking of,
there's some kangaroos. Let's go investigate those.
G'day mate, today we come to you from Australia's outback. In the background there you can see the wild kangaroo, Australia's natural animal. Hippity hoppity hop! Oi, crikey mate, would you look at that, Mr. Grossman? 2 wild kangaroos fighting.
Oi, I understand why they're not using their arms. They're nice, small, like T-Rexes. Grandma, get out of the shot!
Get out of the shot, man!
Oi, look at these kangaroos. Did you know that kangaroos are the largest marsupials in the world? There's roughly 55 million of these things, and they're only in Australia. That's Grandma,
stop it! You're too close!
Dude!
And the kangaroos, you'll see they like to kick when they fight. They have got some very strong kicks. You get too close, you get the paws, bro. And in this case, the paws kick super hard.
And when they're 6 feet tall, they're going to have quite the kick within them. That's taller than me. These kangaroos pose quite the threat.
A big threat. That kick is often called the Mike Tyson of kicks. Conor McGregor, go ahead, I dare you, because you know better.
These things are, crikey, they are fighting machines. Their
Fighting
one weakness though, they can't go backwards.
They can never go backwards.
You get back there, you start punching on their spine, they're done.
They only go forward. You sound a little Scottish. You may need to go see a doctor, but they only go forward. That is some motivation for you. Be like a kangaroo. Never go backwards.
I've got a code first off, and now don't think that the trees will save you. These things have a vertical that only Zion Williamson could compete with. They could jump almost 18 feet. Just imagine Zion coming down the baseline, and he just puts it on you. And then he kicks you with his big old legs.
Zion wishes he could jump 18 feet, bro.
Look at these guys. They're just going at it.
That was great.
Alright, we've got to be quiet because here in this creek, we're going to be looking for one of the world's most interesting animals. The platypus. It has the bill of a duck, but it looks like a mammal, but it lays eggs like it's not a mammal. What's up with that? Let's go ahead and take a look through these waters.
Oi, mate, looky there. There, you see, that's a platypus. First off, what a wild character. It's gonna look like a beaver, but it's got the face of a duck, and it lays eggs even though it's a mammal.
Crikey, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And
Obviously, you don't see mirrors very often.
Look at the way it itches his back. What's going on there? This can only be found in Australia. The isolation from the rest of the world has created such a magnificent swimming beast.
Really created such a magnificent
Look
monster.
at the way it just cuts through the water.
What's it doing with its fins? No, that's the waddles on its feet.
That's platypus style. You know these little buggers? They're venomous.
They're venomous.
One little curb stomp with their little back foot.
Yes.
You're 6 feet under.
You'd be amazed. On the back of their heels, you'll notice they got a little spike. Quick drop kick, and you're dead.
And that bill is awfully good at finding little wormies. Little wormies in that water.
Little worms, little insects, little shrimp on the barbie.
Those are little electroreceptors. Look at that thing.
Look at it swim.
Let's just watch it swim.
Just magnificent.
I could never leave this water with this little magnificent ugly beast. Look at that blue bill.
Reminds me a lot of myself there, Mr. Grossman. Just ugly as all get, but daggone, you get me in the water and I can swim like Michael Phelps.
I've never heard a more accurate description of you. Look at that run.
I run very similar to that, too.
It waddles. It is too cute for how ugly.
Oh, get your
Such a
foot out the
beast it is.
picture.
Well, I'm sorry. I just wanted it to love me. Goodbye, Perry. Goodbye,
Adios.
Perry Platypus.
Good eye, mate.
Good note water. Boy, so graceful.
so graceful.
So grateful.
Oh!
Good day, mates and Sheilas. Today's a great day for some shrimp on the barbie, but first we need to find us an echidna. Let's see if we can find it here in the grasslands.
Oh, crikey, mate. Would you look at that? We found us just a little wild echidna. Look at the little ball of spiky floof.
Oh, it looks like a porcupine, but look at that nose.
Oh, it's a lot less angry than a porcupine.
Is this what Sonic the Hedgehog is based off of?
No, I don't think so. I think Sonic the Hedgehog is a hedgehog, hence the name Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, the thing about an echidna is it's got a long and very kind of Velcro-like tongue that helps it
Look
get
at
those
it digging
insects.
down in there in the ground.
Yes, it's doing that to get the
Trying to
insects.
pick up some of those ants and bugs and ew stuff. When frightened, do you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna ball themselves up into a little angry softball.
Or just like the Texas armadillo. You know, these little things, they're an angry softball, but they're another mammal that lays the eggs just like the platypus.
These platypus, these kangaroos, kangaroos don't lay eggs, but what wild animals.
I believe the plurality of platypus is platypi. After several hours of searching, we finally found the famed Tasmanian devil. Not like they are projected in the cartoon, but let's take a look at this majestic beast. You're scaring him away. Let's take a look at him.
Good eye, governor! Oi, what just happened to my voice there?
I don't know. I'm just Mr. Grossman.
Would you look what we have here? We have us a Tasmanian devil. They look like a very angry small
Look at
chihuahua.
those teeth.
Oi, did you see it there?
This is a carnivorous marsupial. You remember that?
Look at it eating the leg of some animal.
They're just going for it. That guy didn't want to let go.
Oh, he had no desire to. They can eat up to 40% of their body weight in a day, or as we would call it, quarantine.
Now, these little buggers, they're all out here. They cannot afford to let go of this carcass. You know, fun facts here. The babies are born as the size of a grain of rice.
Just a grain of rice?
Could you imagine eating your rice and accidentally having a little Tasmanian devil in your belly?
Just a little teeny tiny one. They can like 20 of those buggers a day.
Just imagine its bite as it's chewing around in your mouth.
That bite is estimated around 544 kilograms per square inch, which, for those of you that don't know what that means, neither do I.
Now, these Tasmanian devils, they look a little cute, but they're most famous for saving Michael Jordan and the other Looney Tunes during the famous movie Space Jam, the documentary.
They defeated the monsters. If the monsters would have won, we wouldn't be here.
And we wouldn't be able to argue who's better, MJ or LeBron, because LeBron would have never been able to play.
Michael Jordan. G'day all you mates and Sheilas. Today we're out on the aerial track of a kookaburra. Let's take a look up in the tree and see if we can find one.
Oi!
That's a kookaburra, bro. For starters, what is the name of the kookaburra? Fun to say,
Kookaburra.
memorable. Kudos to you, kookaburra.
Now, these majestic white birds could grow up to be 46 centimeters tall. That's 2 centimeters taller than my little brother.
That's tall for a bird. They are the world's largest kingfisher. Spoilies! They don't even eat fish. Kookaburras prefer insects, worms, mice, and even snakes and lizards!
Fun fact time, that terrible cackle you heard at the beginning. That one right indeed. That is pretty much what these birds really sound like. They are super uncool when they do that when you're trying to sleep.
Super uncool.
Now please, enjoy this song.
Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, kookaburra, laugh. Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, kookaburra, laugh. Kookaburra gay, your life must be.
Kookaburra gay, your life must be. Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Laugh, kookaburra, laugh. Kookaburra gay, your life must be.
Oi, Mr. McKinney, I didn't know you could sing like that.
G'day mates, welcome back to this safari here in Australia. You just heard about wombats. Fun little fact about wombats, they poop cubes. And if you look closely right here, I think we found us some wombat poop. You can see it's got the cube shape. Let's see, is this actually a poop or is this not a poop? It's a poop. That's a poop. I just ate wombat. I just ate wombat poop. I just ate wombat. What made you wombat? I just ate wombat poop.
Oi, that's a cute, cuddly little wombat.
Looks kind of like a teddy bear.
Oi, can we take him home?
I don't think so. We should probably leave it in the wild because this is another marsupial. So many daggone marsupials in Australia.
Fascinating. You know, these marsupials are all over the place, but these wombats, they are native to Australia.
Native?
They're a burrowing animal. They like to dig down and kind of really get that grass deep down.
Big fans of the grass. Fun fact time here. Not much in the name of self-defense for this little chunk, but they do have some incredibly thick skin which makes them tough to eat and a less desirable prey.
Boy, indeed, that 80 pounds of chunk right there, you're gonna need to choke it down if you want to eat it. It's not gonna be a good time for you. That's all I'm saying. Way back in the prehistoric era, these little buggers used to be the size of a rhino.
A rhino?
Could you imagine the quality times you could have with a wombat the size of a rhino?
Big fan.
You think they had a horn?
I feels doubtful, but we can dream.
I doubt it as well.
I wonder if we'll get to see this little guy scurry away. When they walk, they waddle.
Boy, I believe that's because they're so chunky. Look at that chunky.
And look at the teeny tiny little legs they have.
He may not be big boned, but he's thick skinned.
He's thick-skinned.
Boy.
And guess what? They eat grasses, berries, and bark.
And their buttholes produce cubicle poop. Could you imagine what that's like? To look in the toilet after you're done and to see a few cubes just floating there.
I would definitely freak out if I had cubes.
I'd have to see a doctor. Boy, this boy, I could watch him eat all day. G'day, mates. Here we have found some of the world's most awkward flightless birds. The emu. That's not one of them.
Are you sure?
That's Mr. McKinney.
What's he doing?
I'm an emu. I'm an emu.
We talked about this before.
Boy, look at these two wild and crazy guys. These emus.
Crikey! They look like evil ostriches. I'm not a fan.
Not a big fan either, but it's good to know these are the tallest birds you'll find in Aussie land. Can get to be the height of 7 feet tall. That's a shack-sized scary bird.
Here's a little bit of trivia for you. These birds, the name emu actually comes from the language from Portugal, Portuguese. You know, it comes from the word ema, which translates to large bird.
Some fun facts for you. They can run 31 miles per hour, so they would get a speeding ticket in a school zone.
Crikey! Take that, Usain Bolt. Now, these buggers, they can't fly, can they?
No, they are not able to fly.
Oh, I bet they could pack a powerful kick, though.
A very powerful kick. Those powerful clicks, plus the sharp claws, do not make them angry.
Boy, they look like they're angry all the time.
All the time, they got some red beady eyes.
Oh, I don't like the look at this. Let's go ahead and...
G'day mates and Sheilas. Today we're back in Australia. We found one of the other extremely awkward birds here in Australia. It's called a cassowary. Why do you keep moving the That's Mr. Grossman. What are you doing?
I'm a cassowary. We talked about this.
You just look dumb.
You look terrible.
90% of my day is looking dumb.
Hello, Governor! Would you look at the cassowary that we have here?
This looks much angrier than an ostrich.
Oh, it is much angrier than an ostrich. This is one of the most dangerous birds in all the world. Why are these people so close? Get away!
I can't imagine the gall that those people have just standing next to a bird like that.
Standing next to the second largest flightless bird in Australia, but it is the heaviest bird in Australia, so a diet probably wouldn't hurt.
Boy, we could be diet buddies, him and I. Oh, but this has a casque which is like a sponge-like helmet on the head. You see this little baby doesn't really have one, but you see that big black bill-looking thing on the top of his head. That's what we're talking about here. It feels like a sponge.
That thing is made out of keratin. Yes, keratin. The same thing that makes up your fingernails.
Now, here's a little switch on the gender norms. The father's the one that's supposed to raise the baby.
What's scarier than a 150-pound modern dinosaur with killer claws? One that can jump 7 feet off the ground. It can literally jump over LeBron James, but it has daggers on its toes.
Crikey!
Caw-caw!
Sick vert, bro!
Parkour! G'day, as you can see here, this gentleman is running from a Goliath bird-eating spider.
Now, our producers want us to get one of those on film, but we're saying no.
No, that's...
Just like you should say to drugs. We're just gonna play you a different video of that spider.
It's a spider.
We're not here for that.
Ew.
Let's go get Tan.
Yeah. Crikey, mate, look at this giant 8-legged spawn of Satan.
Oi, Sheilas and mates, this thing is nightmare fuel.
That right there, what you see is a Goliath bird-eating spider. It can grow to be larger than a human hand and has been known to make whistling noises. Gross.
Oi, there, boy, while it won't kill a human, it will make you feel real sick for several days.
Facts, not fun because spiders are gross. They don't typically eat birds, but they could if they wanted to. Have been known to eat small cats. Ew.
Let's go ahead and get off this. This is gross.
Disgusting.
All right, mates and Sheilas, it's been all fun and games up to here, but now it's the moment you've been waiting for. We're going to be looking for the mighty crocodile. Let's go ahead and get in these waters. No cold. Let's go downstream where it's warmer.
Crikey, mate! Would you look at that scary lizard, or as we call it, a crocodile?
Boy, this crocodile's a real-life dinosaur. It existed all the way back in the time of dinosaurs, and it's still here today, making it
How cool is
the
that?
world's only dinosaur.
The saltwater crocodile is the world's largest reptile, growing to be around 20 feet long and 2,600 pounds.
Boy, this is bigger and meaner than any alligator you could find.
It is? That is just fascinating.
So choose the alligator to make your friends with.
I don't want to be friends with either one, because they're both mean. Some fascinating facts. Crocodile Dundee is, in fact, not a crocodile, but just a regular, albeit cooler human, and he will show you what a real knife looks like. You call that a knife? This is a knife.
Crikey! The crocodile's got the strongest bite of any animal in the world, so probably best to avoid the mouth of that.
You certainly want to
Look
stay.
at those
Look at the
teeth.
teeth on
Look
that
at
thing.
that.
The shoe Crocs. You ever heard of them? Great.
I think didgeridoos sound like farts. So thanks for joining us during this. Please make sure to join us on Thursday as we adventure through the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia.
Water, water.
Play us out, didgeridoo!